Want to congratulate Florida State. They played a near perfect game. We had to stop the two tailbacks and stop the quarterback, and we did none of the three. They were 7 of 10 on third down conversions. They were 4 or 5 at halftime. They hit 11 of 13 passes. We couldn't get to him. When we did, he scrambled and did a great job. So he had 85% of his passes. They've been a team that's turned the ball over. We didn't force a turnover all night. So give them credit. That's what we went into the game saying we had to stop those 3 guys, and we didn't stop any of the 3. We went into the game saying we had to have fewer penalties, and we didn't. We had 12, they had 5. It's the most we've had in forever, because we've been doing a much better job in that area. And then we went into the game saying they were +7 or -7 in turnovers. We were -2. We had to force some turnovers, and we didn't do any of the 3. Offensively, we ran up and down the field, but penalties and the 1 turnover killed us, kept us from scoring. We were worried about penetration. Our offensive line did a great job tonight. We were worried about pressure on the quarterback. We had very few sacks, if any. So the time was there. We had 2 key drops that really hurt us, along with the penalties. And then our kicking game's been so good, and we kicked the ball short on kickoff, and they return it to the 41. So most of the teams in college football right now are about alike. You got a few that are better than everybody else, and the rest of us have to play well each week. We've played well in 3 games that we've won. We've played poorly in 3 games that we lost. And that's what I told the guys. Stay out of the training room tomorrow. Don't come in pouting. Get your head down. We got to correct a lot of things. When we play well, we got a chance to win. When we don't, we're not going to win. That's just the way it is. And I thought they tried. I thought they were ready to play. We jumped out 10-0. Then the momentum changed, and I thought they really got down right before the half. And then they came back and competed hard the second half. But good for Florida State and tough for us. Questions?
All right, Patrick Welter, go ahead.
Mack, how much has this team failed to meet your expectations and reach its potential?
Well, my expectation is to win every game. So we've 3 times we've met it, and 3 times we haven't. The national media expectation, the expectations for us to be a top 10 team were wrong. So I guess we should all be critical of the media for picking us too high, because we're not that good. So you guys all screwed it up.
All right, we'll go over to Michael Coe.
Hey, Coach, what was behind the decision to go for it on 4th and goal from the 5 instead of kicking the field goal?
Well, we again, you look at analytics, and we were down by a bunch, so we needed to score a touchdown. We could have kicked the field goal, but we were getting short on time, Michael. So we thought we'd made it. If we'd made it and gone for 2, you'd have been all excited about the decision.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Lucas Tomei, go ahead.
Coach, now that your team is halfway through the season with a 3-3 record, how do you keep motivating your guys throughout the second half? And is there anything specific that you want your guys to play for specifically?
I told the guys that losing really stinks in life. It stinks in sports, and we're all going to have some of it. And we can learn from this. And it's something I've got to do better, is learn from what we didn't do well, learn from the momentum changes tonight, learn from being down, being frustrated. They were so high last week after you beat Duke. It's like a roller coaster right now in college football. And so go back to work tomorrow and do your best to beat Miami. Quit worrying about anything at the end. We got to get better as a program. And sometimes we look so good, and it's so exciting for the future. And then sometimes we're so disappointing. So we got to go back to work. We're not good enough to pout, and we're not good enough to win unless we play well. Our practice was great this week, probably as good as I've seen. Offense had one of their better games, didn't score touchdowns, just ran up and down the field. So we've still got a lot, and I worried about defense playing so well last week that they might not come back and play as well this week. And that's exactly what happened. So we got to try to get a game where everybody plays the same level of football at a very high level together. And Miami's going to come in with 16 days of rest and 16 days of planning and game planning, so we better be ready to go.
Brendan Marks.
Hey, Mack, you mentioned Jordan Travis and the success that he had running the ball and scrambling. What was he doing that was so effective? And obviously containing rushing quarterbacks seems to be a problem that is continuing to crop up.
Yeah, he's hard to tackle. You know, the option that he ran, he's fast. He's slippery. We were back there a lot and couldn't get to him. But the thing he has not done well is been a consistent thrower. And he didn't miss. Now, some of them were screens. But still, the two or three deep balls that he hit were a difference in the ball game, and they haven't been doing that. But that's our fault. You can't allow them to run the ball, and you can't allow the quarterback to be confident and have success. And we allowed all three.
CL Brown, go ahead.
Mac, how big was that drive, 7-minute drive for Florida State in terms of the momentum that you talked about? It seemed like besides just being Florida State's first score, it seemed like because they kept your offense off the field for so long, it kind of threw them out of rhythm too.
Yeah, I looked up with 2:40 left in the first quarter, and they'd had 3 snaps. And we had 10 points after we scored, and then they came back and scored after that. So we felt like it. Obviously, it's better if your defense is rested and your offense is moving the ball. We just needed 7 points instead of 3 when we got there. But that when the momentum changed, I didn't think we got it back till the third quarter. And then there were times in the third quarter that I thought that we had chances. Such a key that last 5 minutes of the half where they score and we've got 53 seconds, 59 seconds left with 3 timeouts, and we're driving it down. We have 2 penalties. That was such a key part of this game. If we go in and score there, we're in great shape at halftime, even though we hadn't stopped them as well. But we just can't have that many penalties.
Jeremiah Holloway.
Yeah, Coach. So for you all, Howell has been a very instrumental aspect of your running game. And of course, you spoke about how Travis was hard to stop today, and he pretty much played that same role for Florida State. Can you talk a little bit about, I guess, the role of quarterbacks, I guess, in a running scheme, specifically about Travis and Howell, and how Howell has been, how important Howell has been for you all, and how important Travis was for Florida State today? Yeah,
the quarterback's kind of like a +1 guy. Nobody's really responsible for him. And if you take a spy and put him just on the quarterback, it takes him out of your defensive flow and makes it tough for some other things. So that's just such a weapon for us. Sam did a really good job tonight. I thought he handled the game well. The one interception in the end zone was a contested ball that I thought we could have knocked down or jumped up and fought far more. But he's tough. He's competitive, and I liked what I saw. He kept us in the game with his runs tonight as well.
Adam Smith.
Mac, you've mentioned the penalties a couple of times. I was going to ask you about that, just in terms of, you had a couple of unsportsmanlike, I think. Did just some of the things that went on with the penalties today, did that add to the frustration or the irritation? Maybe there was some unraveling there. I don't know. What would you say? Yeah, I thought we lost our composure a couple of times on the drive that they had for a touchdown because we wanted to win so badly. And that's an excuse. I mean, you've got to keep your composure at all times. And we had a helmet butt once, and we had a late hit on the quarterback, which can happen. But still, you can't have frustrated penalties. Q Johnson, guy said some things to him, and he was frustrated. I didn't see it, but it sounded like he pushed, and you just can't do that stuff. So that's not who we are. That's not what we're going to put up with, not what we're going to be known for. And we got to wake up. We got to go back to work and be positive and do positive things, and can't get frustrated when things aren't going well. People are beating you. You've got to fight to beat them back, but you can't do it illegally. You got to play within the rules. Thank you.
Okay, last one for Coach will come from Andrew Jones.
Hey, Coach, they had 342 yards in the second and third quarter combined. A 2-part question here. What jumps out to you right now, looking back at those 2 periods, at what went wrong? And is there a common thread between what went wrong today as with the second half against Georgia Tech when they had 313 yards?
Yeah, we had people in the wrong place. We weren't fitting the line of scrimmage properly on some of those runs. We had communication issues in the secondary, which you can't have, and it seems like we clean them up and then they come back and happen again. So all those things are things that we have to clean up. And they took advantage of everything that was there. I mean, give their quarterback credit. Give those two running backs are good. They ran hard. Our backs ran hard tonight. That we did a better job with some things offensively tonight. But we played defense more like we played at times at Georgia Tech and tonight, because we just gave up some big plays, and you can't do that. It's just it's really frustrating.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
Coach,
you.
thanks for a couple of minutes. We appreciate it.
Thanks.